reminder of what,
Okay.
this is getting recorded, but just a little reminder of what's happening the rest of the day this afternoon. We're going to do kind of back-to-back really quick, 20 minutes each on Screencastify and Flipgrid. So that's happening this session. And then our last session of the day is at 2:45. And elementary, TK through 5, Dan Haller's going to do a presentation on Clever. And I pre-sent him a bunch of questions that he's prepared with. And Rich is doing calendar, which is really important because secondary is rolling out Zoom links and things through calendar, Google Calendar. So it's an important one.
Yeah, so let me speak to that for just a quick second. Obviously, you can't just hand the kids their schedule and say go to the rooms. And so rather than have a hodgepodge of dissemination of information, what I'm going to show all secondary people is how to make a recurring class through Google Calendar. And then what you'll do is you'll invite the entire class as a Google group into your calendar. And once all teachers have done that, when a kid opens up the Google Calendar, they're going to see their classes for the entire year with times, class name, teacher name, as well as Zoom link. And so on any given day, they can just open their calendar and click on that Zoom link to get to your class. And so it's really important that you come for that meeting to populate your Google Calendar. So I'm going to go through the walkthrough of how to do that. And Jen, if there's nothing else, I think we can get rolling. I'm going to set myself a timer because Jen's taking half this session and I want to allot that for her. Okay, Screencastify is what we're talking about in this session. So there's two types of video we're talking about when we're dealing with online learning. There's synchronous, which means you are live meeting on Zoom. You can see your kids live. It's a video that's live. There's asynchronous, which is learning that they can do apart from you on their own time. And that would include making a video for that purpose. And that's what Screencastify does. And it's not necessarily just completely teaching a whole lesson, which is one way you could go about it, but there are other uses for it as well. And so I'm going to start off by, so I'm not going to show these the entire videos, but I'm just have little clips here of possible uses for Screencastify. So here I've created Bitmoji Classroom, and with this Bitmoji Classroom, I was going to use it for kids to be their meeting point, their announcement point at the beginning of every week. And so this is basically a guided tour of my website on Bitmoji Classroom. And so I'm going to play that now.
Hi class, welcome to our Bitmoji Classroom. In this video, I'm going to talk you through how to navigate this classroom and how we'll be using it. I'll be posting it every Monday morning onto our website. You'll see this Bitmoji Classroom. On this front page, it tells you kind of our agenda for the week, the lessons we'll be learning, as well as the assignments that you will be doing. On this second page is our Motivational Monday Theater. It has a Motivational Monday for the week. You just click the play button and it'll play right on the screen.
20 things we should say more often.
Okay, so one way you can do is use it to introduce a process or your website. So if kids forget, you can always refer them to this instructional video. Parents can access it. It's so that you don't have to repeatedly re-answer questions, and you can just point them towards a resource. On this second video, it's a how-to of how to do a specific type of problem.
I have an area maze for you. An area maze is a puzzle made by Japanese puzzle maker Naoki Inaba. He's an incredible puzzle maker. Got some really cool, interesting, thought-provoking puzzles. But this is called an area.
So in this video, I explain how the puzzle works, how to do the puzzle, an example, and then I give them the actual puzzle. And I say, work on it for 10 minutes, pause this video, work on it for 10 minutes, and then I have the answer at the end. So they can do this on their own time at their own pace. So that's another type of use you might have for Screencastify. Hi, Donnie, I just got... So on this one way that you can help teachers or students process an essay you've written, of course you could insert comments on it, but you can actually Screencastify on top of their essay so that as you give them input, it's actually live, well, not live, but verbal input. They could hear your voice, they could see your face as you give them some feedback on their essay. Got your essay, and I want to thank you for turning it almost on time.
I wanted to give you a little bit of feedback.
Hey, Rich, people are having a hard time hearing the audio, and also someone's not muted, even though we did mute all. So I'm not,
Okay.
I just wanted to like let you know those two things.
Okay. So that is actually a strong point, because let's see if my audio is all the way up. I will say that when I first recorded one of these videos, I did not use my microphone. And then when I watched it later, it was a super bummer because I spent all this time on it and I couldn't hear myself. So I had to re-record it. So I strongly recommend when you do screencasts that you use a microphone to make sure that it is catching your volume. Okay, so you kind of get the point. On this one, basically, it was me talking through on this paragraph, you could have done this. I really like this about this paragraph, etc. So let me go to the next slide. So what purposes that a teacher could use it for? So students can build a connection with the teacher. You can make daily announcements. You can explain your Google Classroom or other procedures, give feedback on an essay. You could demo an application. You can explain an assignment. You can narrate over a lesson slideshow. So share a slideshow and then talk them through it. A lot of elementary teachers are using this for read alouds. Students could also use this to demonstrate understanding. They could, film a speech or performance. They could practice their reading fluency on there for you. That you can have them do a how-to, though the next session on Flipgrid, it might be a better route for you to go, but definitely students have access to this as well. So some features of Screencastify. It is a Chrome extension, so it's just going to be on your browser. You click the button, you start recording. You add the extension. You don't have to download a separate app. You have to install it. You have an unlimited recording length. We've been upgraded to the higher account. So basically what the district office has done is whatever your email address is as a staff, they've put all those in to be upgraded to the new accounts, and they should be done already. What it does is it can record a tab on your browser. So you pick just one tab for it to record. You could record the entire desktop. Could record just you, or a combination thereof. And again, you don't need to furiously take notes on this. This slide deck is on our website under the Screencastify section. Another advantage of Screencastify is that when you make a movie, it automatically saves into your Google Drive. So as soon as you sign up for Google Drive, or sign up for Screencastify, it is going to make a folder in your Google Drive that says Screencastify. Every video that you film will be put in there. As soon as you finish filming it, they're going to start processing it. During that process, I would highly recommend you name it right away. Otherwise, when they're in your folder, it'll just be by date and time. And if you do a lot, it's going to be hard to keep track of. You can easily share Screencastify videos to your Google Classroom, to YouTube, however you want to share. There's multiple avenues for that. There's also a drawing tool and a mouse highlighting tool. So I intend all of my, all of my slide decks as instruction manuals. So I'm not going to show this now, but later on when you pull up this slide deck, you can look through it. It gives you step-by-step instructions on how to install Screencastify. It's an extension, and initially you might see it. So here's my tab right here. This is just the top of my browser. It would be here, but if it's not, this little puzzle piece will bring to light all of the extensions that you have. So you click the puzzle piece, and all the extensions that you have for Chrome are right here. And notice that here, I didn't pin Screencastify yet. Once you've pinned it, then it will live on your toolbar. So if I ever want to record, I just hit this button and I'm off and running. And so if you install it and you don't see it initially, you just got to hit this little puzzle piece and pin it. This is the menu. Pretty basic. You hit this play button, it takes you to a website with all your recordings. You can record these three things: browser tab, desktop, webcam. You choose your microphone. We were talking after the last session about Snap Camera a little bit, and somebody was saying to me, over the holidays, you want to do like a gingerbread man Snap Camera filter and combine it with Screencastify. You could do a fun little, or make yourself a puppet on Snap Camera. You can use a little creativity in the way that you record yourself. Once you're ready, you hit that big record button. Now we've noticed that some people, for the first time, if they try to record the desktop, they've run into an error that says failed to record. If you've reached this error, people who have upgraded to Catalina on the Mac have run into this. Just click this easy button and it'll give you some 3 or 4 simple steps to give Basically, you're giving Screencastify permission to access your desktop, and that will fix the problem so you can record. So if you hit the fail to record error, hit this button, hit the easy button, you're good to go. Well, there's some steps you need to follow. Smile for the camera, smile for the kids. So you could conceivably film without the webcam showing, but I encourage that you do so. I think it helps to build a relationship because when they see you, I think the more they see of you, the better. The image can be dragged around to various parts of the screen. So sometimes when it's covering a part of the screen that I need access to, I just need to click and drag the image elsewhere. Let me see how much time I have left. Okay, here's the toolbar. There's two big toolbars. When you click Screencastify, there's this one that populates upper right-hand corner of your screen right by the Screencastify button. There's a more subtle one in the lower left-hand corner. There's a button where you use to pause your recording, stop your recording, restart it all over. So let's say you're a minute, like I've recorded videos like I didn't like that first minute, I'm gonna hit restart. Mouse pointer to highlight things, a drawing tool, erase. This is the webcam button to either turn off or on, whether you want your face shown. This tells you how long it's been recording. Beware and learn from my mistakes. So I recorded a 22-minute video. That was a video for AMS parents. And it was very painstaking and painful. And when I finished, I realized that this menu was sitting on top of the screen for half the presentation. I just thought by default it would be gone. And it wasn't, and it kind of screwed it all up, and I had to re-record. I re-recorded the whole thing. So my advice to you is, if you see this there, that means it's recording in your video. Just click off it. Go to the side of it, click the screen. It will go away. The other piece is on the bottom. There's a little message that says Screencastify is sharing your screen. Click hide, or else this will also be on your screen. And so, just advice from me, because those kind of ruined my presentation, and I had to re-record it, which. Not a big deal, but I feel like the second time I felt more comfortable with it. There's an editor. And so in my 20-minute recording, there are a couple parts where I messed up, where I had a long pause. You can go in and trim stuff out. So I was able, and it's a relatively easy process. There's this video, once you access the slide deck, gives you some step-by-step instructions on how to zoom in a particular part of the screen, or to splice up the video. And basically what it comes down to is you go and slice off part of the middle, you cut the video in half, and then you cut it again, and then you just delete the part that you don't want. And so it is very doable, so don't worry, because you can splice things together and cut things off. As far as sharing, once your video is done recording and processed, you'll have these options: publish to YouTube, share to Classroom, get an embed code that you can embed it into your website. You can send an email. There's a variety of options. These are the privacy settings, and you have to think about who you want your audience to be, who can access it. Tips for making a great screencast. Use a microphone for loud and clear sound. And it could just be your earbuds. You don't need to buy a special mic for it. Close unneeded tabs. We are famous for having a gajillion tabs. I think you want your screen to look relatively clean, especially if you have to go from one tab to another during your presentation. To have to search for it is no fun. You also want to avoid light sources behind you. So if you look at my screen right now, if I have the window behind me, I become a silhouette, and it's very hard for them to see you. And this goes for both Zoom and for Screencastify. So make sure you don't have a bright background behind you. Have a soft light in front of you if possible. Use your webcam. Record with energy, humor, and personality. Engage your students. Try to make your video between 3 and 6 minutes in length. Long videos can be really painful to get through. Use the pause button liberally. You know, if you're like, what was I gonna say next? Hit that pause button and then come back to it and re-record. You could always use it. You could also, if it's a long one where you want kids to have think time, you could say, kids, pause your video here, do this, and then play again. Don't aim for a perfect take. Let students know that mistakes are okay. Keep rolling. You can cut things out, but you could also leave some mistakes in. At this point, I'm gonna do something that's a little, we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna actually screencast right now and just show you the menus. It might get a little glitchy just because now both Screencastify and Zoom will be using my camera, but we'll do the best we can. There's my Screencastify button. I hit that, and it brings up this menu. Eventually. Record Unlimited means where we've been upgraded. If I click show more options, I can see that it'll give me a countdown before I start of 3, 5, or 10 seconds. I'm going to have this show drawing tools menu bar up. If I select webcam, it's just going to record my face. Sorry, it's going to record me. There will be no, computer image in the background. If I share desktop, it's the entire desktop. If I want tab, it would just be one particular tab in the desktop that I choose. So for now, I'm going to choose a desktop, and I'm going to go ahead and hit record. And it's going to be a countdown. Oh, no, actually, it's going to ask me what you want to share. So I'm just going to click share entire screen. I'm going to click share. And now we're recording, right? I'm recording. And here's down here in my lower left-hand corner is my menu bar. If I want to draw on the screen, write on the screen, I can choose a color and do that. The button next to that is your eraser button, and that you can either erase all, or I think you can use it as eraser and poke it around as well. This mouse pointer button allows you to, has 3 settings. One is focused mouse. So if I click on that, it dims out everything. And then when I move the mouse around, it highlights what I want them to see. Oh, earlier I mentioned that there's this menu bar here. Notice this, it says screen recorder is sharing your screen. That will stay there unless you hit this hide button, which I hit hide right now, so it's gone. I'm going to pause the recording if I can't want to. And now notice the menu has changed a little bit. It's added some other options. I can now, if I don't like this, I can hit restart. I don't have to go through this whole process again. I hit the little triangle and start playing again. If you hit this X, it will take away the toolbar. And so at first I panicked, like, where's my toolbar? But it says right here, you can hit Option T to bring toolbar back. When you're done recording, you go back. You notice right here, it says, okay, so I'm gonna actually record again. Here's my Screencastify button. I don't know if you can see it, hopefully you can. There's a little red dot there. That means I'm recording, I'm live. If I were to pause it, that red button becomes this little 2 vertical lines. When you're done for good recording, you're gonna click that Screencastify button again, and it'll bring a menu, and you can trash the recording, you don't like it, restart, re-record, or I'm gonna press the square button which says, I'm done recording. And it's gonna open up a window and show me my video again. Not video, it's gonna process my video. It's already, as we speak, been saved to my Google Drive in the Screencastify window. I would immediately click on here and rename this Screencastify PD. And I can already click on this and get a shareable link and post on Google Classroom, post on our website, post wherever I want. I can click on more options here, and I have all these privacy settings available. I can click on this and decide who I want to be able to see this. I can publish it. Click on this, it'll publish to my YouTube channel. And so if that's the way that you want to share with kids, that's another option you have at your disposal. And so, let's see, let me go back to my slides. I think that's about it. I've got 57 seconds left.
Rich,
yeah.
Can you answer, is it possible to record yourself and your screen simultaneously? Can you embed yourself?
Yeah, right now if you look at this, and now we're recording, right? I'm recording. And here's my, down here, did I not embed myself on the last one? Maybe oh yeah, it's just covered. So if you look at this lower right-hand corner, there's you guys, but I'm behind it actually. So only because we're on the Zoom, you can see a little bit, a sliver of me. I was actually recording. My lower left-hand corner is my menu bar. Sorry, I am on this recording. I just did a goofy thing and covered myself. Okay, I'm gonna close that up, go back to my slide deck. This is the slide I always end with. Be brave. The more you experiment, the better your creation will be. Do test recordings to learn about the app. Don't worry, you will not run out of film. Don't wish for things. Google it, and you may very well find the solution to it, or ask a colleague. Don't be shy. Don't keep reinventing the wheel. Find new uses for it online. Search for lists. You could just Google classroom uses of screencasting, and you'll find tons of ideas on what you can do. Share your creation. Like this is a situation where you could also, if you have a grade level that does read alouds, one person can do the read aloud for your, a particular book. If they do them all, you share that video with the rest of your colleagues and you do the next book. And as my grandmother always said, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single click. So that's it. Jen, I'm going to stop sharing and send it back to you.
All right. Do you want to stop recording and re-record?
Yep.